Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Laingayu Meriri, and today we're gonna talk about Deixis. So, what exactly Deixis is? So, Deixis simply means pointing by language or pointing via language. And the linguistic forms that used for pointing are called deictic expression or indexicals. Well, deictic expressions or indexicals is used to indicate something in the immediate context. In other words, deixis help us to identify things in time, place, or situation which a speaker is speaking. We use deictic expressions depend on the distance between the speaker and the address or the hearer. Moreover, there are three categories of the deixis. The first one is personal deixis, refers to people, and second one is spatial deixis. Spatial deixis refers to location, and temporal deixis refers to time. And these categories depends on the context shaped by the speaker and the address or the hearer. So these categories can also be subdivided. So a deictic expression can either be near from the speaker or away from the speaker. Expressions near the speaker are called proximal terms, and expressions away from the speaker are called distal terms. So the proximal terms or near speaker, such as this, these, here, no, and so on. And distal terms away from speaker is such as that, those, there, then, and so on. So let's talk about the person deixis. So there are two terms that we should remember when we wanna identify that which one the personal deixis. The first one is term referring to speaker and address or hearer, such as I, we, me, mine, you, your, and yours. And then terms not referring to speaker or addressed or hearer, such as he, him, his, she, her, hers, it, its, they, them, their, and theirs. It's such like the third person. We usually called the third person. And for example, like it's my coffee. So the words my is deixis. It's person deixis. And then I know that it's your coffee. Your coffee. Your is person deixis. Alright, so let's move to spatial deixis. So spatial deixis refers to the location or the distance, whether proximal and either proximal and distal from the speaker. And there are three things that we should remember when we want to identify which one or is it spatial deixis. The first is single words such as here, there, this, that, and etc. And the second one is expression such as kilometers, meters, and etc. And the third one is direction and or movement such as under, above, fetch, take, bring, left, went, come, and etc. For example, like this book is mine, or her shoes are there. This book is mine. This is spatial deixis. This it means the proximal terms because near from the speaker. This, and her shoes are there. Away from speaker. So distal terms, and it's what is spatial deixis. So let's move to temporal deixis. So temporal deixis, also called time deixis. Proximal form, no, indicate the same time between the speaker utterance and the address or the hearer. Hear the voices. The distal form then applies to both past and the future time, relative to the speaker's present time. For example, like I live here now. It's present and this is proximal. And then the distal form then applies to both past and future time relative to the speaker's present time. For example, like I lived here then is it for past tense. And then for expression of referring time is such as yesterday, tomorrow, today, tonight, last night, next week, last week, this week, calendar time, date, clock time, hours, and etc.
Space, spatial, or place deixis. The concept of distance is relevant to spatial deixis, where the relative locations of people and things being indicated. Some pure place deictic words, here and there, as adverbs, this and that, as a demonstrative pronouns, here, near, there, more distance. Demonstrative pronouns, this is the object in pragmatically given area close to the speaker's locations, and that the object beyond the pragmatically given area close to the speaker's locations. For example, I'm writing to say I'm having a marvelous time here includes the location of speakers. Bring that here and take this there away from the locations of speaker. Motion verbs. Comes versus go marks distinction between the directions of motions. She's coming means she's moving towards the speaker's location. She's going, she is moving away from the speaker's location. And I'm coming, the speaker is moving towards the location of the addresses.
Extension. The meaning of to come and to go contract in third non-physical of multiple use. A good example is the difference between the following pairs of sentence. E. The patient temper went up today. B. The patient temper come down today. Sentence E mean that the temper went upward, away from normal body temper, while the second sentence describes is written toward normal. Normal is where SPK and IGR are. In contrast, the sentence below naturally describes a patient who suffers from usually low temper. C. The patient temper went down today. D. The patient temper came up again today. This sort of extended use of this verb to send is like to take in meaning, but the subject of the sentence does not go with the object sent is easy to understand from the basic physical meaning of to come and to go involving, which may be metaphorically extended to represent an abnormal or atypical state.
To continue my friend's explanations, so I'm going to talk about system of Deixis. So English and other languages in this world must have their own system, and English has systematic arrangements of deictic words, and deictic words have meanings. Each word have meaning, and it can be divided into small unit, and it's called as semantic atoms, and this is actually the smallest unit. And English has a system, and the system of English and other languages are rather different, and this is the reason why we cannot always translate it word for word, because it has a different interpretation. Each language has like different system, so we can't make like English is same as Japanese. No, it's different. And there's an idea said that people must have the same way and the same method to interpret or to build words. And this idea is actually created from the fact that semantic has a lot of similar elements, but in the reality, we cannot use this concept in the reality. Why? Because we know that languages are spread widely around the world. We know this fact, and a lot of parts. There are a lot of parts in this earth, and each part must have their own situation. They have a lot of differences. In each part must have different terrain. So that's why we cannot use that concept. I'll give an example. Eskimos people, they live in a snowy area because there are only snow in the place they live on. But when we compare it with Indonesia, the place we live right now, that has two weather. We don't have winter, means that we have no snow, right? And we must have a lot of things that different with them, right? Because as far as they see, it's always snow, but it's different with Indonesia. We have a lot of things to give a meaning on them, and we have a lot of things to interpret, right? But it's different with them. So the way of people talk or build words is different according to the place they are living on. So that concept say people must have the same method and the same way to build words. It can't be used in the reality because we have a different situation. It's according to the situation and the system is created from the situation. I think that's all.